Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy, another Zah back at you, y'all Savas. But anyways, before I even get started, I got a few shots out, but I'm gonna send out one in particular to Doe Girls. It's right there on Balboa and Victory. It's the homegirl. You know what I mean? She does a lot for the youth, especially in danger youth. People have really got nowhere to go. They're young and they're out there on the streets wild, and she try to give them, somewhat of a safe haven. And it's right there, like I said, it's a pizzeria right there on I think it's Balboa and Victory. Go ahead, stop in if you're ever in that neck of the woods. She likes to make custom pizza. I like to clown her and call her bougie, but she's she's not that at all. She's just a really good person, and just go ahead and check her out if you can. But let me get my shots out in. Shots out. This is a special one. R.I.P. to Badass from MX Locotes and IE. It's sad another homie gotta go down, but the streets is a motherfucker. But anyways, shouts out to homies from Big Top Locals, from Richmond RST to homies from Reno, Nevada, 757 to Shampoo 787. Y'all saw I finally got you, dog. To the homies from Northside Pasa, to all of us from Colton, to Polk County, Florida, Diedrich Tatum, Tulare County, 559. Y'all sabes, I got you, big dog. And to all the Compton CCs. And yeah, let me just get into the subject because it's gonna be somewhat sensitive, but it's something I want to cover a while ago, but I chose not to go in it. For the most part, if you mention anything about anybody that's gay, they consider you homophobic. But I'm not homophobic at all. I just think that for certain reasons and certain things that people say tend to come off real snotty. You know what I mean? Like for the most part, when it comes to this particular group, there's some amongst your group that are they like to nitpick and point the finger and say that discrimination, that they're always being discriminated against. But now you got people amongst your group that are being just as discriminatory towards other not only other races but other groups and people that got a different way of thinking. It's like when you see somebody that's religious and they might not have uh, uh, not much particular love to those of the gay community, you want to slander them and say things bad about them, but you got to understand that's the way they think because that's the religion and that's how they were brought up. So you got to be understandable. But that's not even really what I want to talk about. It's just basically like this thing with Kevin Hart. A lot of people, they're not really on it, but it's like I wanted to cover it because it has there's a lot of ramification behind it. If people can slander you and get mad at what you say in the media and pretty much try to tear down your career because you're upset at something you made. And don't get me wrong, he did make a statement somewhere along the lines that he would do anything to make sure that his son isn't gay. And for the most part, that is homophobic, but it is his way of thinking. It is his way of wanting to raise his son, and it's his thoughts. You know what I mean? And yeah, if he puts it out in social media, you're gonna get attacked. And it's one thing to attack a person's way of thinking, but not necessarily attack a person's whole character. He says something that can be considered disgusting. And the way everything is now, people should be way past that. It should be more acceptable. But at the end of the day, you got to understand that this is the same with blacks. They're constantly fighting for acceptance in certain roles, and they're not getting it for the most part. A lot of people that are amongst the LGBTQ group, a lot of you are in positions of power, so you're able to make certain moves and do certain things. And for the most part, the people that are more forward, like such as myself, I have absolutely no problem with you. The only time I have problem is when you're outright attacking people for no reason. Not You got to understand, it's just like blacks and any other social group. Not everybody is going to agree with what you say, what you think, and how you do things. But that's life. This is America, and you are entitled to speak the way you want without, and even if you offend somebody, you're gonna get chastised a little bit. In the media, people are gonna get on your head. Some people are fired, and that it's different. But what I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta realize, like I said, that not everybody is gonna think along the lines of those that are more mentally forward. You know what I mean? But yeah, the only thing that really pissed me off, and that's not the Kevin Hart thing, that's just acceptable. He said what he said, so he got chastised. He's in the media, and he's a star, so of course it's gonna weigh on his shoulders a lot more than somebody that isn't. And what I mean by that is because like Sandra Bland, a lot of people, a certain group fell behind her. Like I said, LGQ BTQ group fell behind her. I guess they felt like championing her cause, but now that you heard that she had something homophobic to say in her past, you chose to jump off. Now you no longer want to support her cause. which is kind of like it's hypocrisy to me, because it's like, you know what I mean, there's a lot of you that I know that say things that might be derogatory towards another group. And in particular, I know gay people that are absolutely against interracial mingling. I mean, as far as sexual mingling, and you know, they consider their views right. So I mean, that's a form of discrimination against another race. There's so much to get. I can tell you straight out, there's so much discrimination against gays as far as race, but nobody really pays attention to it, you know, except the ones that actually have friends that are gay, because they're just like, oh, it just goes up under the bridge. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're gonna fall behind somebody's cause, support them all the way to the end. She had something homophobic to say. She was small thinking at that time, but you gotta understand, like I said, this is America, and you can pretty much have the views you want. I mean, as long as I'm not enforcing my views upon you, you know, that's just how it goes. This is the land of the free. Basically, you can say what you feel without really going out there. If she said something, she wasn't a star, you know what I mean? And you know, for the most part, it's sad that she had her views the way she had them. But you know, and I'm talking to, you know, your particular group, that you need to understand that not everybody is going to be feeling that, you know what I mean? But just because she had those homophobic views doesn't mean that you need to fall off of her cause. She was killed in jail, allegedly, you know what I mean? And I'm going to say allegedly because, you know, I don't have no proof, and I haven't did enough research to really speak in depth in it. And I'm not really trying to go in depth. All I know is that she got killed in jail. They said the cops did it, and your group fell behind her. But now, because, you know, you heard she had something homophobic to say, now everybody is like, basically, fuck this law and screw her. And that's where I see that it's wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want people to push your cause, you should be able to, once you put yourself behind something, you should be able to go all the way with it. It's understandable. You have people that hated gays, but then all of a sudden now, you know, people are turning around. A lot of it is just because they just weren't used to it. But now that you're gaining acceptance, you know what I mean? You got to understand that, you know, that you got to basically give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe if she had a friend that was gay or somebody that lived an alternative lifestyle, she might have had a different way of thinking. But I'm just going to tell you, amongst African Americans, being homosexual is considered basically a curse. It's considered something not to be mentioned. It's something not to be put on Front Street. And for the most part, a lot of people are not only scrutinized, but they're ostracized for being gay. If you're black, African American, and you're gay, for the most part, you got people that want to kill you. They'd take your life if they could. In other countries, they will absolutely take your life if they find out that you're gay. So, you know, being black and then, you know, being gay, you know what I'm saying, you're ostracized, you know what I mean? So you never know. Maybe she could have had some type of, you know, she could have been gay and maybe hiding the fact that she was gay by putting, you know, talking that shit to another group, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Sometimes people do these things to hide the real nature of them. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is like this. You were behind her cause, continue to be behind her cause. Because if you fall off from her cause just because she said one word, that makes you a hypocrite. Because when people fall off your cause because you said certain things, you want them to continue backing you. You want people to be, you know, outright saying that they, you know, they're with gays and everything. And some people, and the ones that don't do that, you like I said, you want to attack them. You got people that go so far as to physically attack people in the street because they're not sharing your views. So that's discrimination within itself. I'll tell you one thing. Understand that there's some people that are seriously religious and they're never going to see the same views that you see. They're never going to be acceptance of a man being with a man and a woman being with a woman. You know what I mean? But that's just something that you just got to get used to. If anything, you should be attacking these people that are outing people for no reason. You know what I mean? Outing them for fame. That's what I understand. You would rather attack somebody that's homophobic, you know what I mean, that's just a bigot, but yet you got these people running around outing people and half of them making up lies in order to propel themselves into the spotlight. A lot of gays control the media. You know what I mean? They control the media. It took them a long time to get in a position of power, so now they're in a position of power. You got some gays that are really looking out for ethnic groups and really trying to help people excel to the next plateau. And then you got certain people amongst your group that would try to tear them down because they're just as racist as a racist. You know what I mean? And they don't have no problem going out of their way to make this point. I mean, out of their way in order to let people know that they're racist. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the bigotry goes all the way around. All I'm saying is like, I just can't support some of you because you're bigots. You know what I mean? And you hate the fact that some people don't see the same way you do. You know what I mean? And for the most part, like I said, I support movements. You know what I mean? I support the positive movement. I support people trying to get their life together. I support people trying to be happy, trying to live their life. Nobody that's gay should be getting attacked by some random ass dude in the street. The same way somebody that may not agree with people that are gay shouldn't be getting attacked or ostracized just because they don't see your views. You know what I mean? And like I said, I made this video not because I have anything against your particular group at all. I have nothing against nobody's group. Like I said, everything is about positivity. I want my homeboys to live another day. I want people to be able to, you know, bridge certain gaps. I want people to be able to live their life according to the way they want to live their life. If you're religious and you have a problem with gays, don't say nothing, keep pushing. It's not your business to correct them. If you're gay, you know what I'm saying? And that's on the other token, if you're gay and you see somebody that might not agree with your lifestyle, as long as they're not physically attacking you or belittling you personally, then you should just let it go. Attacking somebody's career and outing somebody that's dead. Sandra Bland is dead. Nobody can ever bring her back. So don't attack her. If you want to really get past bigotry, learn to pick and choose your battles. If you choose to go at everybody that may have some homophobic slur on their text, then that just shows how little you are. And like I said, that's no shot at your group in particular. This is real talk. My name is Zod, and I'm always going to push the real. You know what I mean? It don't matter who gets upset. A lot of people need to have these conversations. A lot of your group in particular need to talk converse amongst themselves and get to some level of understanding that, you know, that everybody is not going to see eye to eye with you. I mean, people say right now that if you look on TV, you see a lot of stuff that pushes the gay agenda. And at some time I kind of thought it too, because I was like, man, you know, that's all you see on TV. But then I had to think back. It was the same way back in the days when you had blacks and whites and Mexicanos and whites and Mexicanos and blacks. You know, it wasn't widely celebrated on TV. For the most part, people would hint at it and kind of like you would never see really the kiss. It's kind of like, oh, well, unless it was like a black exploitation film, but you would see them kind of like little by little. The media was trying to shift it in order to get it to make people be more understanding of what's taking place and understand that love is all the way around and no matter what race you are. And that's why I say, like with gays, it doesn't matter who you love. I may be a little confused at times because I don't know what to say because there's so many different terminologies in order to address somebody. Transsexual, tranny, transgender, him, her, them, that. Like, I don't understand it, but you know, I'm in Los Angeles, so I'm constantly trying to understand it so I can be more aware of people's feelings. Because I mean, it's like every black, you can't just assume that, you know, there are certain persons. Some people are Dominican, some people are Puerto Rican, some people want to be addressed by their country of origin. You know what I mean? And it's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, they're all still black. They just got cut, but they might want to be addressed like it is Boricua, it is, you know, Dominicano, like whatever, you know what I mean? So I understand that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still constantly learning every day at 40 years old, but you have to be patient. All I'm saying, like the whole thing why I made this video when I was supposed to make a video on something entirely different is because I want people to just be able to sit down across a table, like I said, and have a conversation. The shit with Kevin Hart, he did some bigotry shit. He's a bigot in a sense, but I don't think he just entirely thinks like that. It's just some people speak out their ass and it's understandable. You know what I mean? It's just, it happens. He is who he is, and he apologized and he refused to apologize again. So he shouldn't be ostracized. You know, he apologized, let it go. Sandra Bland, dead. She can no longer apologize. She's dead. Don't attack her. Support her cause. Get this law passed and start shining light on some of this injustice in prison, with people coming up missing. They're dead for no reason and had nothing to do with another inmate. You know what I mean? It's just like that. I'm not gonna go into law because that's not my thing. I'm an ex-con, and that's how I stay in my lane. But support her cause. If you started on her cause, continue to support her cause. Because by jumping ship makes you, seem a little shady. Like maybe you champion her cause because it brought more light to your cause. You know what I mean? It's always gonna be this debate. When it comes to rights. You got blacks fighting theirs, and now you got the gays fighting theirs, and it's just the way it is. There's always going to be that debate. There's always going to be hate amongst different groups. It's just the way it is. But if you're trying to excel and you're trying to be that bigger person, just pick your battles right. That's all I say. Pick your battles and stay there. Don't become that which you fight, which is a bigot and a hypocrite and somebody that just has absolutely no understanding of human nature. Understand, like I said, that everybody is not going to see eye to eye with you. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about before I end this video. A lot of people need to understand that we got freedom of speech. And though it may be callous at sometimes, we're still given that right in America to have freedom of speech. As long as I'm not physically harming you or they're not physically harming you, it's just speech. You know what I'm saying? Just like people get to protest. Some take it out of control, but for the most part, they protest. Just pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? Because if you alienate everybody from your cause, then you're going to have a harder time. You know what I'm saying? It's just be understanding, and then people will understand you. And for the people of the LGBTQ community, like I said, your boy Zod ain't got nothing against you. You will live your life according to the way you want to live your life. And for my friends that are actually in this arena, this group, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, nothing against you. I'm just saying, talk to your people and get them to understand that not everybody is going to be accepted, but it doesn't matter. It's like I said, for the ones that accept you, embrace them. And for the ones that don't want to, accept you, then push them to the side. It's too many people in this world to be hung up on just a few. And that's your boy, No the Zod. May you enjoy the rest of your night, and hopefully I'll be on a better topic tomorrow, and I'm out.